Hi, everyone. Welcome to your Tuesday 2-minute tip. The first in December is citrus season. So I will resist the urge to show you that I'm a really good citrus juggler. Hit me later. Let's talk about what to do if you have an extra lot of citrus. I guess, first of all, the exciting thing about any fruit being in season, especially things that we take for granted as being available all year round, is that you can really get the creative and awesome, interesting varieties of something when it's in peak season. We might be able to year round, but now is the time you can start to find dozens of types of mandarins or pink lemons or all of these other kind of specific varieties. So if you go to a farmer's market or you shop even from a nice grocery store, you'll see different varieties. My favorite are Satsuma mandarins, and I love them because they're sweet but just the right bit tangy, and they're always super easy to peel. The skins are actually really loose. They're in season usually from Thanksgiving until just about January, so you don't have a lot of that is the other thing about seasons, is that they do each individual variety will kind of come and go. So keep checking throughout all of the winter, really up until April, to get the most out of your specific varieties available. Anyway, so you can see on this lemon that I actually used a peeler to take off big strips. From that, I was able to make candied lemon peels. Another great thing, if you just find yourself with tons of citrus left over, is zest the citrus. Put the zest on a plate flat and then pop that in the freezer for about 20 minutes. And then you can scrape it all into one Tupperware. But that way, all of the little individual pieces freeze separately, and then you can store it together. And then you have zest for as long as you need it. The zest will last in the freezer indefinitely. Super potent. It's a really easy way to add a pinch, either just as a garnish on an appetizer or to whatever you're cooking to get that big citrus burst of taste. Then juice it. And then you can freeze the juice. I would recommend freezing in maybe like tablespoon size amounts, or freezing it in a silicone ice cube tray. It's really easy to then pop them out of those bendy ice cube trays as opposed to putting it in a real one. But if you save those small amounts of citrus juice frozen, I mean, you don't really ever need to have a fresh lemon then, because it preserves it really, really well. That is by far the easiest way to store a lot of extra citrus. You always see things come up about, make us lemon curd or something like that, make lemon bars. But the real truth is that any of those recipes only ever call for a few tablespoons of lemon juice. So they don't ever use up enough. You can also save your peels of any of the citrus, but specifically orange. You want to make sure to have a high proximity or a high ratio of oranges when you're doing this. And you can make a household cleaner, which sounds a little extreme. Maybe you're not like somebody who's into making your own household cleaners, but I swear it cuts grease, especially cooked on grease on the stovetop, better than anything I've ever bought. So I still use a regular cleaner, but for actual grease cutting, the orange citrus peel, and it's really easy. You can look up a recipe, or I'll try to post one below. Just put the orange peels in a mason jar with some kind of vinegar. I think that's it, but I will check and post it below. And then in like 2 weeks, it's ready to go. Amazing. You can also make salted lemons, preserved lemons. That's a good way to use up the whole entire thing. It's also a really fun project. And you can also just candy the wedges. You can slice the oranges and dry the wedges. You can do the same with the other fruits as well. But number one, if you have an excess and you don't know what to do with it and you want the easiest way to preserve it, zest it, freeze the zest, juice it, freeze the juice. So tell me what kind of citrus you're enjoying. I'd love to hear if you have any specific varieties that you love to see this time of year. See you next time.